The heart
I can't
monitor
wait
had
to
been
meet our
beeping
little
for so
one.
long that
Me
Marcus
too,
had
every day
stopped
brings
hearing
us
it.
closer.
What he heard instead was his daughter's laughter, the kind she used to do on Saturday mornings when he'd make her blueberry pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, when life was ordinary and beautiful and he had no idea how precious ordinary could be. Now he lay in a hospital bed in room 14 of Mercy General in Dayton, Ohio, staring at a water stain on the ceiling that looked, if he tilted his head just right, like the state of Texas. He was 39 years old. He was dying, and the only thing on his mind was his little girl. Nurse Claire Hadley had worked the oncology ward for 11 years. She had held the hands of strangers as they crossed over. She had hugged weeping families in hallways that smelled of antiseptic and grief. She had learned, slowly and painfully, how to carry other people's sorrow without letting it drown her. But when she walked into room 14 that Tuesday morning in November and saw a man with kind eyes and trembling hands trying to tie a ribbon around a stuffed elephant, something in her chest shifted in a way she hadn't expected. "Here," she said quietly, setting down her medication tray. "Let me help you with that." He looked up. His name was Marcus Delaney. She knew from his chart that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, that he had been given 6 to 8 weeks and was now somewhere in week 9. That he had no listed next of kin except for one name, Lily, age 7. "It's for my daughter," he said. "She loves elephants. Her mom passed 3 years ago. So it's just been us." He paused, smoothing down the ribbon with a careful thumb. "It's her birthday on Friday. I don't think I'm going to make it to Friday." Claire tied the bow. It was small and imperfect and the most important thing she had done all week. "She's with my neighbor right now, Mrs. Ferrero," Marcus continued. "Good woman. But she's 74. She can't keep Lily long term." He stopped, swallowed. "I've been working with a social worker, trying to find someone. Lily has no aunts, no uncles. My parents are gone. Her mom's family is back in the Philippines and they can't take her either." Claire sat down. She didn't mean to. Protocol kept nurses on their feet, efficient, boundaried. But she sat down anyway. "What's your final wish, Marcus?" she asked softly. He turned his eyes to her, and they were so tired and so full of love that she had to breathe through her nose to stay steady. "I want someone to be at her birthday party," he whispered. "I know it sounds small. But I can't stand the thought of her turning 8, next year, after I'm gone, with nobody to put candles on a cake. I just want to know that someone will show up for her. That she won't be alone." Claire drove home that night and sat in her driveway for 22 minutes without going inside. She thought about what she was. Single, 41, a woman who kept succulents because she traveled too much for real plants. A woman who had convinced herself that her life was full enough. A woman who had never once, in 11 years of nursing, crossed the professional line. She went inside. She made tea. She called her sister in Columbus. Then she called her best friend Dana. Then she sat at her kitchen table and opened her laptop and stared at the blinking cursor in an email draft for a long time. On Thursday, the day before Lily's birthday, and 4 days before Marcus passed, Claire came to work early. She brought a small cupcake with a single candle. She sat beside Marcus's bed during her break and said, very carefully, "I've been doing a lot of thinking." He looked at her with those tired, patient eyes. "I want to meet Lily," she said. "I'm not making you any promises I can't keep, Marcus. I'm not going to stand here and tell you I have all the answers. But I'd like to meet her. And I'd like to be at her birthday party. If that's okay." For the first time in weeks, Marcus Delaney cried. Not the quiet, internal kind he'd been doing alone at 3 a.m., real crying, the kind that comes from somewhere so deep inside a person it doesn't make much sound at all. He died on a Monday. Peacefully, the notes said. With the stuffed elephant on the nightstand and a photo of Lily tucked under his pillow. What the notes didn't say was what happened next. Claire showed up at Mrs. Ferrero's house that Saturday with a chocolate cake and a balloon shaped like an elephant. Lily opened the door in a yellow dress with her hair in 2 uneven pigtails, because she had done them herself, and she looked at Claire with enormous dark eyes and said, "Are you the nurse who was nice to my daddy?" Claire knelt down on that front porch in Dayton, Ohio, in the cold November air, and she said, "Yes, baby. I am." What unfolded over the next several months was not a clean or simple story. There was nothing magical or instant about it. There were home visits from social workers and mountains of paperwork and a lawyer named Greg who worked pro bono because his own mother had been a nurse. There were nights Claire sat on the edge of Lily's borrowed bed in Mrs. Ferrero's guest room and read from a chapter book about a mouse who went to sea, wondering if she was doing the right thing or the most reckless thing she had ever done. But there was also this: Lily, sleeping. Lily, laughing at cartoons. Lily, reaching up to hold Claire's hand in the cereal aisle at the grocery store as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Lily, saying one evening while eating macaroni and cheese, "I told Daddy you'd come. I told him somebody would come." Claire had to leave the table for a moment after that. 11 months after Marcus Delaney made his final wish in a hospital room in Dayton, a judge signed a piece of paper, and Lily became Lily Hadley. There was no crowd in the courtroom. Just Claire, Dana, Mrs. Ferrero in her good coat, and Greg the lawyer, who was not supposed to cry but did anyway. Afterward they went to a diner and ordered pancakes. Lily asked if they could make them in the shape of dinosaurs. Claire said she didn't know how, but she'd learn. Lily said that was okay. Her dad hadn't been very good at it either. He always made them look like lumpy blobs, but she ate every single one because he tried. Claire reached across the table and took Lily's small hand in both of hers. Outside, the first snow of the season was falling on Dayton, soft and quiet as grace. And somewhere, in whatever place good fathers go, a man who had loved his daughter with everything he had finally rested.